Big thank you to SEGA and Atlus West for sponsoring this video. Taking a fan-favorite action role-playing game from about 20 years ago and remastering it to where it plays just as good as many of the best games in its genre in the present day is no small feat. In fact, SEGA Atlus did just that, as they took the cult classic 2006 PS2 action role-playing game Devil Summoner Raidou Kuzunoha vs. the Soulless Army and overhauled it into the incredible remaster that nearly functions as a remake that we have today in this year's RAIDOU Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. SEGA Atlus has been dishing out quality re-release after re-release over the past several years, and while most of their heavy-hitting titles have been within the Persona franchise, like the multi-platform remasters of Persona 4 Golden, Persona 3 Portable, and Persona 5 Royal, along with last year's remake, Persona 3 Reload, we've recently been treated to a massive resurgence of quality remasters in the Shin Megami Tensei series, with last year's Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance and this year's RAIDOU Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army. Now, RAIDOU Remastered has been available for over a month, so absolutely check it out using the link in the description and also in the pinned comment. But along with telling you all how awesome this game is and why this incredibly unique SMT title deserves your attention, the existence of this game indicates a very, very bright future for SEGA Atlus's expansive JRPGs. From Shin Megami Tensei to Persona and beyond, this remaster, borderline remake of one of the most forgotten but much adored games in the Megami Tensei series, stands as a triumphant return to form that suggests the quality we are likely to see going forward. And with this relatively obscure fan favorite resurrected from the ashes, now better than ever and playable on just about every platform out there, this opens the doors for many more quality remakes and remasters that may come in the future, and that is something we should all be celebrating. Strike that like button if you believe Raidou is one of the best leads in all of Shin Megami Tensei, and comment down below if you've been enjoying RAIDOU Remastered. And with that out of the way, let's first get you caught up as to why this game is absolutely worth checking out. Released in 2006 for the PS2, Devil Summoner Raidou Kuzunoha vs. the Soulless Army was a groundbreaking title in the greater Megami Tensei series, as this game took the strategic turn-based demon collecting gameplay known in Shin Megami Tensei into a radical new direction by introducing real-time action. Featuring a mute protagonist, Raidou, and set in the year 1931 of the Taisho period of Japan, this game marked the first in the entire franchise to be set in the past, creating a historical frame of which to view the game, as the culture, conflicts, and characters represented and reflected the snapshot in time that was the Taisho period, with this game adding heaping doses of mystery and intrigue. This is because you, Raidou, are a detective at the Narumi Detective Agency, tasked to look into strange happenings throughout Tokyo, and while interacting with the many interesting characters you come across in the city, so too will you be dispelling demonic and otherworldly threats that threaten the city. It's a fun story in RAIDOU Remastered, made even more palatable for many by including voice acting here, something that was noticeably absent from the original game, and intentionally so, as the original PS2 release was designed to be played that way. For purists out there, there is an option to disable the voice acting, but I gotta say, the voice acting here is quite solid, and it is at the very least worth checking out. And it is these quality of life improvements that really sell this game as a title that can be seen just as much as a remake as it is a remaster. There are just too many improvements and additions to name, but here are some of RAIDOU Remastered's best new features. The visuals are completely revamped here, featuring HD character models, with previous environments that were originally pre-rendered now being expanded in full 3D. Yeah, you can tell that the main characters and NPCs got a ton of love here, as the minor roaming NPCs you'll find roaming about the city are noticeably less detailed, but hey, at the end of the day, being able to experience this game with this clean coat of high-definition graphics is a joy to experience, even though, admittedly, the more muted tone of the original game felt more in line with the time period and detective drama concept. With the bright new graphics come a much improved UI, a detective journal featuring tutorials and a glossary to keep on top of things, and a quick save feature that comes in clutch when attempting some of the tougher challenges in the game. The real meat and bones of this this impressive package comes in the form of an almost completely overhauled battle system, as battles now feature total camera control with players able to maneuver the camera a full 360 degrees that put it on par with most modern action RPGs out there. With the ability to now jump in combat, along with the ability to have 2 demons out fighting instead of just 1, RAIDOU Remastered greatly adds more combat possibilities over the original release. This game feels like a genuine action game now with the amount of touch-ups the remaster has received, with the brand new perfect dodge system rewarding split-second timing by netting the player precious mag, a resource needed to utilize skills and devastating attacks. Being able to swap demons in and out of battle on the fly, including using 2 of the same demons in your party at once, ensures almost endless customization to your setup, and I haven't even touched up on the demon collecting and fusing. As this is an SMT game, demon collecting is very much here in this title, along with demon fusion, featuring more than 50 new demons in RAIDOU Remastered that results in more than 120 demons to recruit and create. With random enemy encounters being tossed out in favor of engaging with enemies as they appear on the map, stealth attacks can be used to initiate combat, and being able to lock on now really makes the world a difference when such a common feature was absent from the original. Devastating special skills have been added to RAIDOU Remastered and are a key part of the brand new sword alchemy feature, which allows for crafting weapons using the various weapon parts you've obtained across your adventures, with each new weapon crafted unlocking new active and passive skills that can be swapped, leading to endless permutations and builds for RAIDOU and his demon crew. With a smarter allied demon AI and the ability to have total control over their skills and behaviors in battle, RAIDOU Remastered really comes across as a total overhaul of a game, especially regarding its combat systems. Although some of these combat features were introduced in its 2008 sequel, Devil Summoner 2: Raidou Kuzunoha vs. King Abaddon, RAIDOU Remastered adds so many quality of life enhancements here that really make it feel like a fresh new game, and a perfect starting point to the RAIDOU duology that completely renders the PS2 original obsolete. Add on top the numerous side quests and extra challenges included in New Game Plus, and you have a game that looks, admittedly from its time, a good looking PS2 game at that, but features modern action RPG mechanics that put it up there with some of the more prominent games in the genre. Although this SMT game certainly is known for deviating the most from the other games in the series, RAIDOU Remastered perfectly blends the tried and true demon collecting and fusion gameplay with a bold focus on tight and stylish real-time action combat that makes this one of the most unique and ultimately special games in the entire franchise. It comes as a surprise then that SEGA Atlus decided to revisit such a cult classic at all, as this game has kind of been lost to the passage of time, with, I would imagine, many Persona, Shin Megami Tensei, and JRPG fans perhaps completely forgetting or not even knowing this game even existed at all. As a late PS2 era game, but one that clearly had many endearing fans, this remaster is really an incredible thing to behold, as the developers clearly poured a lot of love into this title, and it makes me even more excited as to which games we may see receive this treatment in the future. And well, RAIDOU Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army likely came down to us, the fans, wanting to see more classic games from the franchises we all grew up loving. Several years ago, Atlus put out a survey asking us fans which games from their coveted JRPG franchises we'd like to see remade or remastered going forward, and well, as you can see, coming in at number 5 is the Devil Summoner Raidou Kuzunoha series. Persona 3 at the top got its remake in Persona 3 Reload last year, and with Persona 4 getting its remake in due time with Persona 4 Revival, it looks like SEGA Atlus is intently listening to fans to entertain potential future games that may end up getting the remake/remaster treatment that Raidou's first outing received in RAIDOU Remastered. In a recent interview with The Gamer, RAIDOU Remastered's game director, Kazuyuki Yamai, reflected on the company's decision to revisit such a hidden gem in the SMT franchise, leaving a hint and a potential door open to revisiting more such games in the future. Atlus still has many hidden charms yet to be fully conveyed. We hope that both new releases and remaster/remake projects will work together to make everyone fall in love with our games even more. With many games left to be revisited on this list, Such words from Yamai are certainly encouraging, as this covers not just the Shin Megami Tensei series, but also a number of Persona releases and even the adored Etrian Odyssey games. With Persona 3 Reload, Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance, and now RAIDOU Remastered, The Mystery of the Soulless Army proving to be big successes for SEGA Atlus, the future looks bright for not just future new entries in these long-running franchises, but also remakes and remasters of these classic games. I mean, the next logical remake or remaster in the SMT franchise is definitely Raidou's second game, am I right? RAIDOU Remastered's excellent additions and improvements over the original game showcase a clear respect for the original title while also modernizing the game to appeal to both veterans and newcomers alike. And with games like Persona 3 Reload and SMT 5 Vengeance further hitting home the quality of what SEGA Atlus are capable of pumping out with their revisits to their classic games, the future is undoubtedly a bright one going forward for these beloved JRPG franchises. So, what are you waiting for? Pick up RAIDOU Remastered: The Mystery of the Soulless Army by hitting the link in the description or in the pinned comment. And you can find me over in this video as we dive deep into last year's Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance and why you gotta try out the most polished mainline Shin Megami Tensei game yet. That's all I have for you in this video, my friends. I'll be seeing you all real soon in the next one.